Along the wide-stretching Crenshaw Boulevard at the Crenshaw Square shopping center in Leimert Park sits a modest corner diner. But frills and trends aren't the point of Tack's Coffee Shop. Tack's Coffee Shop is instead built upon a community of collaborative culture. On a regular day, this small cafe is bustling with waiters gliding back and forth in the aisleway, patrons who are all too familiar with Tack's menu, and a lifetime's worth of good luck cats and figurines perched behind the counter. And while we're on an eclectic tone, Tack's menu serves up a unique combination of Asian, Hawaiian, and American-influenced dishes that you would be pressed to find just about anywhere else. There's nothing quite like Tack's in South LA or even in the city of LA, but that's because this diner experience at Tack's Coffee Shop wasn't made overnight, and nor was it solely made over the last 20 plus years of its existence. Tack's Coffee Shop's incredible culture and history begins in the mid-20th century with the Holiday Bowl, a multicultural outpost that bridged cultural divides in the greater Crenshaw neighborhood that sat hardly a block away from this cafe's present location. So how did the Holiday Bowl evolve into Tack's Coffee Shop? Well, let's find out. The history of the Holiday Bowl begins in the early 1940s when the Crenshaw Park development, a co-partnership between two businessmen, purchased and developed 41 acres of land between Crenshaw Boulevard, Rodeo Drive, now Obama Boulevard, and Coliseum Street. In 1956, the Crenshaw partnership broke ground on a $1.25 million 36-lane bowling alley designed by Chinese-American architect Helen Lu Feng. The multi-purpose bowling alley was complete with a restaurant, bar, billiard room, nursery, and a parking lot for up to 200 cars. Crenshaw Park planned to lease the Gucci-style alley to a group of second-generation Japanese-American businessmen who sold shares of the future Holiday Bowl business to the local community to fund the operation. After amassing community support, the Holiday Bowl opened in May of 1958. The bowling alley appealed to the then larger Japanese population around the Crenshaw area, as well as Black and other ethnic groups across that same part of the city. Its aptitude for diversity was illustrated in its eclectic menu, which featured Japanese cuisine such as yakisoba and udon, Chinese-American-inspired chow mein and pork noodles, and American staples such as grits for breakfast and hamburgers for lunch, among so many other delicacies. Most notably, however, the bowling alley had an active sushi bar. Throughout the 60s, the Holiday Bowl established itself as an outpost of unique flavors and casual fun. The alley became a popular destination for local bowling and even hosted national bowling tournaments. In fact, the Holiday Bowl opened for 24 hours a day, becoming the de facto hangout spot for many in this part of LA. If you're interested in learning more about the Holiday Bowl as a bowling alley, check out the Holiday Bowl History Project that is linked in the description below. Beginning in the 1970s, the diverse nature of the Crenshaw neighborhood began to alter. The once thriving Japanese-American population in the Crenshaw neighborhood began to dwindle, and the once 24-hour bowling alley saw its hours cut back from 12 a.m. and earlier to 10 p.m. by the late 80s. Throughout most of the 90s, the Holiday Bowl's activity wasn't documented well in newspapers, leaving a big gap in the reason for its decline. However, it's plausible to infer that the changing landscape of the Crenshaw community and LA abroad led to a critical shift in the need of a bowling alley like this one. By 1999, the Holiday Bowl, as well as its entire commercial block, was listed for sale by the investment company related to the Crenshaw Park co-partnership. In the year 2000, after 42 years of service to the community, the Holiday Bowl and its surrounding commercial center had been sold. Preservationists fought to have the building considered a city historic cultural monument to prevent the new property owners from demolishing the structure that held so many memories for so many people. Because of its iconic Gucci architecture, the Los Angeles City Council designated the Holiday Bowl as a City of Los Angeles Historic Cultural Monument in December of 2000. However, historic cultural monument status does not make a building immune to demolition. The owners developed a compromise with the preservationists and maintained the facade of the Holiday Bowl restaurant and its new retail development, but demolished the rest. Today, the portion of the original building that remains is now the front of a Starbucks coffee shop that is reminiscent of the alley's restaurant and coffee bar. Despite the Holiday Bowl closing in the year 2000, one Holiday Bowl server sought to save a piece of the coffee shop and restaurant by starting a local diner with the same flavor and multi-ethnic flair as the Holiday Bowl. Waitress Mary Shizuru spent much of her waitressing career at the Holiday Bowl, but left in the mid-90s to start her own coffee shop business. Shizuru, with her business partner Fujio Hori, kept the Holiday Bowl restaurant experience alive by opening a small coffee shop named after her son Tak on Crenshaw Boulevard, just a block away in 1996. Mary kept much of the ethnic fusion on the menu while adding new heavily Asian-influenced cuisine. Tadashi Nakamura's Breakfast at Tak's documentary captures a glimpse of the community essence and long-standing customer relationships that Mary built through Tak's coffee shop. In the early 2000s, Mary has a handful of regular customers who are often reminded and reminiscent of the unparalleled experience at the Holiday Bowl. In the mid-2010s, Tak's coffee shop was sold in part to Angie and Florentino Bravo, two kitchen staff workers at Tak's Coffee, who both also worked at the Holiday Bowl. Florentino, however, was a dishwasher who worked under Hori and learned the craft of the business. Under the Bravos, Tak's coffee shop continues to thrive with its culturally diverse selection of dishes and its incredible history in the greater Crenshaw neighborhood. During my work with the South LA Cultural Treasures Project in 2023, I had the opportunity to talk to the father and son team who helped continue the legacy of Tak's coffee shop.
First name Anthony, last name Bravo, and Chino or Florentino Bravo is my dad, and I'm the lucky son. I mean, I know it's gonna sound like a little played out, but this is like my second home, literally, because even on the days off that we're not here, me and my dad always end up coming here for something.
Do you kind of see, like, after all these years, like, similar traits in them? Like, what like, really makes people gravitate here?
Yeah, well, I think it's just anybody that loves great food and has open arms and is willing to talk to other customers, because a lot of people that have been coming here for years, they usually come back on Saturdays and Sunday and they sit down, everybody together, and they're like friends that used to go to Crenshaw High or Dorsey or like Fauché, and everybody meets up here.
My name is Florentino, but they call me Chino. I've been working at tax for almost 25 years. No, the reason I stay because the boss is the owner for the tax coffee shop. He used to be a Japanese guy, but he was my best friend. So he told me, one day you can save your money, so you can buy the business. When you retire, you can take over. So it's the reason I take a holiday the tax coffee shop from him, because he retired, so he decided to sell me the business for me.
You know, I think it goes way back because Hori, he was like our grandpa. He was the one that showed my dad how to work in the kitchen and everything. He's the one that hired my dad to be the dishwasher. Then my dad slowly moved up into the kitchen. And I guess every time I'm making the food, even when I'm prepping like the sauce to make like the chashu, the famous chashu that we have, it all goes, I always remember him, because he would always tell my dad, oh, you have to make it like this, and you have to get a little bit dirty, so like that you put love into it, because you put love into the food, people are gonna, you know, follow with that tray and they're gonna taste it. And you know, it's that old saying that they say, you put love into it and people are gonna fall in with it, you know?
On a Friday morning in January, I visited Tak's coffee shop and ordered a local mocha and black coffee. And it's so cool just to see this level of influence put in this restaurant and almost tasting a piece of the history of the Holiday Bowl. Tak's coffee shop is known for its eclectic breakfast, and it is quite frankly one of the few places that I know of in South LA where I can get Hawaiian-inspired food. Tak's modified Tommy's Loco Moco, Portuguese sausage, bacon fried rice also rank among its signature dishes.
Everybody needs to try Tak's. Everybody needs to try Tak's. I feel like it's different from other places, and once you've had a little bit of it, like, you're gonna be addicted to it. You're gonna come back. You're not gonna be settling just for a little bit. You're gonna want more and more of it.
Los Angeles is a landscape that is in constant flux. Things happen, some things stay, many things go away. But Tax Coffee Shop is one of those few rare moments in the city where decades of culture continue to exist outside of stories and photographs. Tax Coffee Shop is real, and it's a standing piece of history that highlights the beauty of the city.